Hello and welcome back to Spain. Last time, we fought a war against Burgundy, which ended in a, I guess you could call it a victory, although we did lose a lot of manpower, a lot of men, so all in all, it's probably not fair to call it a victory, more like a half loss, something along those lines. But it doesn't matter, we'll recover probably this episode, and we'll also try to, try and get Austria to some extent not be as blobby as it is. We will probably be able to take this one pretty soon, or hopefully. We'll have to see how that goes. And once we get to this one, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to, put some things going. I have no idea what I'm actually talking about right now. But for the time being, we'll be focusing on, to some extent, simply trying to get Pomerania to vote for me, because I gave up Mantua as a vassal, as it were, when to get Russia out of the war with Burgundy. So hopefully we can, to some extent, make things work. Now we have Flanders, we have Hesse back, and hopefully some rebels will cause some troubles for Burgundy, although I do doubt it. We'll simply have to wait and see. What you'll probably get this episode is more colonization, probably a war against Galicia, and probably another war against Portugal and Dauphine. Dauphine for vassalization, Galicia for annexation, Portugal for, stealing the remainder of their colonies, and other than that, I'm pretty sure there won't be too much to argue about. I do have some overextension that needs to be dealt with. Delgado Bay here. I should have realized that I actually had to use a colonist to turn it before it actually become a full-fledged colony. So that's my bad. But as you can see, we're mostly securing most of the coast here, and after that, we'll probably just colonize inland. There aren't really too much to do on the eastern seaboard. We'll do some colonization there, but not much admittedly. So for the time being, I'll be moving troops up here, deal with these sunny zealots, and we'll also be, I have no idea if they'll actually make it so that they deflect to Mali, but I would doubt it. And hopefully we can also get eat parts of Mali, hand it over to Benin, and thus get things going in that aspect. We'll probably also go for, as I said, vassalization of Tunisia, have them eat North Africa. So there's a lot of planning, or a lot of plans. We'll see how it all actually ends up turning about, but for the time being, we'll just sit by and see how things go. Decided to take another quality idea here, finance of horses. Gives a boost to the cavalry combat ability by 10%, which is quite nice. Reason why I took it is, as you can see, it's still quite a while before we can take the next military technology level, and we do gain quite a lot of months, so it's not really an issue at this stage. And other than that, not really much else to say. But for the time being, my troops are more or less lining up here, and I'll probably train another 20k men or something, or fetch a army from Europe, and then we'll basically be ready, I think, for duking it out with Mali, and also some other people are starting to cause some sort of trouble here. I simply have to set up a colony in over here, I think. I'm a little bit unsure if I set up a colony and then sell it to Benin, or if I actually can sell a colony. It would be interesting to see. But if I can, I'll probably set up to a colony, sell it, and then, go from here and start conquering. But as you can see, I could potentially also force them to release Ashanti, and then simply use that as a sunny vassal by simply releasing them, forcing, then declaring war, and use that to my advantage here. So potentially what I should do is go ahead and start the annexation of Benin and Congo ASAP, and I think that's basically what I will be doing here. I will be annexing both Benin and also Congo, and then fighting a small war against Mali with the goal of having them release Ashanti here, and then forcefully vassalizing them to have a sunny vassal that I can then use. Great Britain is actually declaring a war over here on Assam, and that could potentially be a very bad thing for me, as you might imagine, because if they end up getting a foothold over here, that will definitely hurt me in more than just one aspect. So I might actually have to step in and change things up here. So let's see, how do we do this? These are both Hindu. So yeah, potentially I will be going for straight out forceful vassalization of both Bamanis and Berar, and then I will be handing over provinces to them. So what I think I'll do here is declare a war on Gujarat if I do not have, I do still have a truce with them. Will they give me military access though? They will. So then I can use Bamanis, and yeah, I can declare war on them. So I can basically use that to my advantage here. Try and take over the area before Great Britain actually takes anything, and can thus start colonizing, and otherwise cause, well, problems for me that way. So let's see here. What do we want to do, or what shall we do in this case? For now, I'll just allow my armies in Europe to... I'll basically have 620k armies here when it all is said and done. So we'll see how that turns out. I'll most likely just fight Galicia now to take back that call. Shouldn't be a problem at all. And other than that, I'm not really sure what we'll be doing. We'll simply have to sit and see, or sit quietly and see what happens, more or less. I decided to test this out if it's actually viable or not. So for now, we'll be declaring war on Pijapa here, or Bamanis, with the goal of simply, well, vassalizing them more or less. So it's not really that much of an interesting war. It should actually be finished pretty soon too, so that's fine. Got military access here, so that's not a problem either. And I'll most likely try and get myself... I have no idea if these guys actually got truce with me. Doesn't look like it. So I'll probably end up declaring war on Vinagia as well. Pretty much straight away here. And that is for two reasons, I guess. I will be getting myself access to the coast. And that is basically important because of one thing and one thing only. By getting myself access to the coast, I will be able to... to use that to my advantage, because then I can simply use boats. I won't actually have to be reliant on military access, and I'll probably try to get access to the coast on both sides, because that will allow, or basically make it easier for me when it comes to attacking. And on that very same note, I'll also go ahead and make Bamanis, allow them to keep their Hindu faith, because that will make it very much easier for me to sell the provinces that I take to them, because I will not have to convert them myself. They will get a opinion malus due to the fact that they are Hindu while I am not, but I can live with that. It's not a problem at all. And we'll also go ahead, as I said, take Galicia. We're still missing some men, but that is basically just the armies are currently suffering losses, so it's not anything to worry about on that aspect either. So for the time being, we don't actually have anything to really worry about or anything like that. I do have some armies here that do need some fixing up, some finishing touches like this one, and yeah, that's basically it. I need to make that 120k, and then we're virtually done here. But for the time being, I'll be setting up some extra colonies here. I do have 5 colonies now, 4 with that one. So I'll be colonizing, or focusing on colonizing these islands, and basically getting myself in a good position here. Discovering the islands in this area is probably also of importance, since Great Britain did declare war on Assam, although it seems they haven't actually shown up yet, as far as I can see. No sieges or anything, so we could still be in a very good position to actually get ourselves a pretty damn good presence in India. I will not be doing the mistake of selling or vassalizing this province again. I did that before, and the end result by doing something like that is actually rather, how should I say it, idiotic, foolish. Call it whatever you want, but you do not end up with a good result. In my case, I ended up with losing the East India Company without being able to take it again. So you have to hold on to the province that you first take, because otherwise you might lose it. I have no idea if they actually patched it or not. I didn't actually submit a bug report, although I probably should have. So that is probably my mistake here. As you can see, I can vassalize them, and no one will care except Gujarat, which is these guys. No, these guys. So that's quite nice, and I'll probably also take Berar as soon as I can. Congo will definitely be simply straight out vassalized, so that's not a problem either. Or annexed. I've already started the annexation of Benin. It will take, however, though, since they're actually counted as overseas. So that is a little bit of a negative thing, but we should be able to force things through even so. For now, Galicia is the only thing that I need to end the war. Then we'll start the annexation of Congo, and then we'll also start the next war here. That will definitely be against Vinagar to get access to the coast. Until then, we'll keep this military access here, which brings me very far above my diplomatic relations, which is kind of a risky move, but we'll have to see how it turns out. I'm pretty sure everything will work out just fine. So that's the plan. We'll see how it turns out. As I said, I wanted to declare a war on Vinagia here to secure well, access to the coast more or less, and I'll definitely just do that straight away. Other than that, it'll probably end up in a war with Gujarat as well. I have no idea if the truce is actually up. I kind of doubt it. Yeah, truce is definitely not up, so that's fine. So I will basically declare war on them pretty much afterwards. Take these two to connect my lands with their lands and so forth. But for the time being, we'll fight the war against Vinagia here, which I'm pretty sure shouldn't actually be that much of an issue. As you can see, the troops are basically equal, but my troops are highly more or of much better quality. So as you can see here, they basically don't actually have any morale already in the first battle, and thus I'm pretty sure I can just hunt down their armies here and, well, to some extent, in theory, end the war here. But we'll see how it goes. It should be a fairly easy war. And other than that, not really that much to report. I started the annexation of Benin and Congo. There are some Portuguese revolutionaries causing trouble here. And I think I need to fabricate a couple of more claims. But other than that, we are basically set here to start or take the colonies from Portugal. But other than that, not really, as I said, that much else to say. We have, I think there is another province here, but I'll allow it to discover itself, or allow its discovery to happen by itself. But as I said, nothing much else to report. Manpower is, well, slowly but surely recovering. It's going to take a little while longer, but I still already have a lot of troops. If we go to look at military armies, currently almost at the top here. Russia, of course, at the very top. But it's kind of scary thinking that they can actually start, or they already have taken some land here from Ming, and thus they are getting kind of scary. So yeah, I might have to make some efforts to actually, well, hunt them down, I guess. But we'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it turns out. For now, I'll just fight Vinagia, and then we'll worry more about the development in Europe afterwards. I'm still stable as the Holy Roman Emperor, so that's not a problem at all. But it's still kind of scary how Austria has actually set me as hostile, or they did at least send me they actually sent me a hostile. They sent me an insult, so I might actually have to prepare for a war in Austria here. And that is good, or possibly that's a good thing, because, well, if I am to fight Austria, then I can potentially force them to release some nations. But as you can see, Russia, Poland, and, well, I do not like the list of allies, and hopefully I can, well, get it swept or flipped. But as you can see, I could potentially also go for getting myself into the good graces of Burgundy again. Hopefully get a some sort of marriage solution, I guess I could call it, and thus be able to get a royal marriage with them, as I said. And then again, be able to use that to my advantage. It will take forever, as you can see, thanks to the modifiers, as it were. But potentially, it will turn into a good thing if I can just pull it off. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out. As you can see, we have taken 2 provinces from Vinagia and handed them over to Bamanis. It actually took quite a while longer than I imagined, but the war ended up being very boring, and nothing else of importance happened during that time, so it wasn't a problem that way either. Telangana and Costa have been added to them, and they're currently coring them. So as soon as these 2 little men are done doing their work, we'll be declaring war on these guys, and we'll most likely just take Ahmednagar and Desh. We should potentially have just declared war straight away now, because that would mean that a new, or Ahmednagari nationalists would rise up there and do most of the work for us. And as I also said, Berar and Malva are, or Berar in JSA's case, or Bundelkhand, Delhi, is also definitely targets for us to vassalize, due to the fact that I need a... Delhi is actually turned sunny, so they actually didn't end up being a potential target after all. But in the worst case scenario here, I'll just have to... well, let's make it this way. I'll simply take most of the Malvan lands and just... Basically, I'll cut them down to size, and once I can, I'll vassalize them. But until then, I'll just leave things as they are. As you can see, the war with the British I have ended without them actually taking anything, which is a positive thing for me. The Russians are still being in the area though, which is kind of annoying. And in Europe, things are looking kind of, well, plain and boring as usual. But I do have 3 electors now, so I'm basically set on that account. And I'm probably sure that if when I boost my, well, as you can see, relation with Manchuria a little bit more, they'll also be voting for me. So I'll still keep the whole Roman Empire. And I will most likely keep it if I were to give up Brandenburg and Trier as vassals too. I'm a little bit unsure how it actually works in the Holy Roman Empire. If I were to take these provinces by force, if Trier will actually be able to call them for me. I'm pretty sure they won't actually buy them, so that won't actually help. I'll probably have to call them myself. But yeah, it's definitely something that I could at the very least consider. And I'm pretty sure that if I were to say vassalize Flanders here, then I'm definitely sure that I would be able to. I can actually offer vassalization right now, even with the distance between our borders. So yeah, I'll be taking some hits here to well, the diplomatic power again, but I will be vassalizing Flanders, and I'll definitely be having them eat most of the Holy Roman Empire lands, or most of the other lands here, probably some Holy Roman Empire lands as well, of the Burgundy, or of Burgundy, to try and get control of them that way, if they do not have a problem with the ruler, because as things are now, I can get well, I could at least, so we'll probably have to fight them either way. So yeah, it's very tempting to take the Fiend, and also, as I said, Flanders here as vassals, to use them to eat up Burgundy. Basically have the Fiend take these four, then go straight out for the annex, and basically do the same thing over here. And apparently I have... yeah, that doesn't make any sense, because those rebels were, or let me make this right, those rebels were in my nation, then I killed them. And apparently they are close to forcing their claims, or demands. We'll check how that actually works out next time, because as of now I'm out of time, or we're out of time, so that we can't do much more. I will also have to build or rebuild my fleets at his stance, because as you can see, I have 144 ships protecting the sea lines for 222 colonies. So that's kind of troublesome. There are a couple of ways to solve this. I believe that if I were to take these provinces here, I could get, or that would make it so that Africa isn't distant overseas. If not, we'll simply have to try and conquer our way down here and all the way around, which would take quite a while. But yeah, there's a lot of things that might be, or that I will consider to do, but we'll have to see how it turns out. Tunisia is definitely a target for a straight out vassalization. Unfortunately, the Ottomans are protecting Algiers, but I can of course just try to deal with Algiers without any problems like that. So we'll have to consider how we'll do this next time. As now, as you know, we're just slowly but surely allowing, I don't know, defense of the empire, diplomat, or what's it called, imperial authority, to grow in order for me to be able to actually get myself in a position where I will be able to can't I? No, I can't actually force with that vassal. That's kind of bad. But yeah, as I was saying here, we'll most likely try and gain authority somewhere or another, probably by turning over people like this. Bohemia will probably not be able to, they're too big. Brandenburg vassal won't actually be doing anything against Great Britain. Nope. Denmark, nope. Nope. So it's just Mecklenburg, it seems. I could go after Saxony as an elector, because I'm pretty sure that they do not actually vote for me. And yes, they do not. So I can potentially go after them, turn them around. The problem is then they might actually end up voting for Austria or something like that, which would be pretty damn bad. So we'll have to consider it next time, but for now we have made some gains. We are getting a presence in India at the very least, and we'll most likely just keep on growing, getting more powerful. We'll try and beat down Burgundy, because at this stage they are definitely the only, or the biggest threat, issue, call them whatever you want. They are definitely the only thing that can screw over my plans. So we'll probably continue some conquest in India, probably also some in Africa here. Go after Oman or something. Force them to release Yemen could be an idea. If no more Yemeni cores, so that doesn't actually help. So it seems like for dealing with the Mamluks and everyone else, vassalizing Tunisia and then feeding it to them seems to be the best, or my best choice of action. So we'll see how it actually turns out. But for now, I am currently in the process of, as you know, eating up Benin and Congo, so that's not a problem. But I've been chit-chatting for way long enough, so thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you around next time. Bye.